So
wherever you
and
wish.
I apologize if I have my back to you, but we're going to address the audience here. Tonight, it's a great honor to recognize one of our own for heroic efforts that occurred on July 24th, and I'd like to call up Officer Thomas T.J. Griffin. Normally, we do our awards at our annual, we're going to stand right here in the center. We normally do our awards in March of every year where we have a department meeting, we take a department photo, we acknowledge those efforts by our personnel. We've got a lot of great officers and dispatchers here. I'd like to acknowledge our officers in the back. We've got Corporal Kang, and you guys are welcome to clap if you like. So, and we've got Corporal Kirk, and we've got Officers Johnson and Dami. Hey guys, thanks for being here to recognize one of our own. And I'd also like to acknowledge TJ's family. He's got his mother and father, Pat and Jan Arias, and clap. And Officer Griffin's fiance, it'll be Anna Vurik. Thank you. So those the police department here, I've been here for going on 8 years now. We've got a great force of a lot of good folks working to help keep our community safe. And I'm going to read our mission statement. Our mission is to provide a professional law enforcement services intended to impact the quality of life through commitment, education, and community partnerships. And that says a lot about our officers. They're very committed to our community. I'm sure you've read and seen across the nation, we've got an epidemic of opioid overdoses. And overdoses and opioids has become more and more prevalent. It started in the South and worked its way north, and now it's kind of hitting the West Coast, and we're actually seeing a lot of overdoses and use of opioids being abused by our youth and our community. And so I looked up the National Institute on Drug Abuse. Every day, more than 130 people in the United States die after overdosing with opioids. The misuse of and addiction to opioids, including prescription pain medication, heroin, and synthetic opioids such as fentanyl, is a serious national crisis that affects public health as well as social and economic welfare. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that the total economic burden of prescription opioid misuse alone in the United States is about $78 billion a year, including the cost of health care, loss of productivity, addiction treatment, and criminal justice involvement. And before I continue, I'd like to give a shout out. There's Ron Duran, who works for the Merced County Health Department, is the one who takes care of us little departments. And he actually had a grant to provide Narcan, which is kind of like the brand name for naloxone, to our department. Naloxone is a synthetic drug that basically undoes the effects of opioids. Opioids can cause your heart to slow down, to stop, and it's used in the medical field. It's used successfully when people have to go through surgeries, people have pain, but it's also abused. And when it is abused, our officers have been issued Narcan. So when they go to a call and they see that this occurs, they're able to use it and administer it. So get into the event that we're here tonight. On July 24th, 2019, about 5 p.m., about the 1300 block of Prusso, our officers were dispatched to a call of a code blue. And a code blue is when somebody's not breathing, no pulse. It basically looks like they're perishing. And so Officer Griffin and another officer responded code 3. And if you guys watch police shows, code 3 means with red lights, a siren. So you're going to get there as fast as you can, along with our fire personnel and our paramedics who do what we can to save that person's life. So Officer Griffin gets there right away, and he realizes, okay, this is code blue. I need to grab my CPR mask before I go in there in case I need it. So he runs in there. He realizes there's a 19-year-old male who's overdosed, and his eyes are pinpoint, meaning you could tell that he's overdosing. And he asked some questions to the people that were there, and he realized that this young man had overdosed on fentanyl and Xanax. And he realized right away what the effects were going on, and he brought his Narcan with him in his patrol bag, and he asked somebody to get it. And I think I'm going to show you what it looks like. These are what's issued to all our officers. That's a single dose of Narcan, and our officers are issued 2 doses. So he got his Narcan, and he administered it to the young man who was basically perishing, and it quickly did what it's supposed to do. He came out of it, he started breathing, started having a pulse again. A fire department assisted as well. And then the paramedics got there and additional doses of Narcan. And so his quick actions saved this young man's life. And I'm going to read what one of our sergeants wrote about what Officer Griffin did. He wrote a nice memo, and I'm just going to read a couple sentences. This is from Officer John Ramirez. I reviewed the body cam footage, and Officer Griffin did an amazing job with this overdose. He was able to gather information that an opiate may have been used while making a quick decision to start CPR. Later, Sergeant Ramirez spoke with the paramedics and was told that the paramedic was truly impressed by the quick actions by Officer Griffin. So TJ, for that, we thank you. We're proud of you for saving the life of somebody in our community, and we want to give you the Life Saving Award. And I'm going to have our chaplain bring that out. Please. And by all means, if anyone wants to come up close and take pictures, please do. This is the second Life Saving Award that we've given in my 8 years. So I'm very proud to give it to Officer Griffin. Along with the medal, life-saving medal, he's going to get a service pin that he gets to put on his jacket. And I have a couple here. Some of these folks have a lot more than I do, but I have a couple here. So I'm going to present that with him as well. And I want to thank you. And I'd like to encourage any comments from Officer Griffin or anybody else that'd like to make a comment.
I'd like to say thank you to everyone who's here today to support me. It means a lot to me, and I hope to continue to serve the city of Livingston with distinction.
Thank you.